Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. This is probably going to be the one of the chapter reviews. The other review I have to do is Seven Deadly Sins. Yeah. Might do it now. I think later today, though. Yeah, but this is Magi. This chapter. Oh, don't get me wrong, this was a great chapter. This gets a 5 out of 5. The chapter is entitled Welcome Home. Now, surprisingly enough, this chapter is actually focused on specifically one character. But the chapter itself revealed a lot of things. A lot. Specifically, besides what the chapter is about. Because the title is Welcome Home. And it is welcoming home a certain character in the middle of the chapter. While at the same time, it revealed not just that, but so many other things. Now, dealing in this chapter is going to piss off a lot of people. Already, I was talking to Nostradamus, it was Sunday, and he was like, and some people are saying to the character who was shown at the end of this, that he's dead to them. That's what he said. But let's continue on from let's get into the summary. Okay, so pretty much, welcome home. We see Titus and Marga, him promising to be with her when they're all their grannies and whatnot, so on and so forth. We see Fintus, that's the guy's name, Fintus, saying that when she wakes up, Titus won't be there. So you could pretty much figure out that that's what this chapter is about. It's about Titus. Now, I was totally blown away at what the story behind Titus was in this chapter. Next page, I knew this was coming. Kouen and Sinbad. I was like, yo, Sinbad and Kouen, there was gonna be a war. I swear to God, I thought there was gonna be a war from this. It was like, this probably is the thumbnail for me. This might be the thumbnail for this chapter, even though I should do Titus. It's just Kouen and Sinbad smiling at Kouen, and Kouen's like, Cohen's not showing any emotion whatsoever. He's like, I'm like, gonna throw down. So we have that, and apparently, what had transpired is that Aladdin's telling you promised Uncle Kouen not to start anything, and he says no. Our original objective was Magastet, apparently, and saying that it only changed because we had an opponent we had to fight changed. And he's like, that's not what you promised, Uncle. And basically we see that they are trying to start something here, the Kou Empire, the metal vessel users, and they're saying they don't know what his, what's Sinbad's trump card. I'm like, yo, these guys want to fight Sinbad now. I was like, that bugged me out. I was like, yo, let's go. Then something weird happened in this chapter. We see a scene with, when Sinbad is looking, I think, at the one that has the crush on him, and she's like googly-eyed. And then after that, we see the other Magi, Yonner. I can't see this one's name. Yonber. I can't pronounce her. Anyway, he's basically saying, it's not a she, it's a he. He's basically saying not to push Sinbad. You promised you wouldn't push yourself. We took the precautionary measures so you wouldn't you wouldn't end up fighting against the Kou Empire. And then he's citing Bright Morgiana, and they're asking what he's talking about. And apparently, what has happened is Sinbad is now has joined forces with the Reem Empire. He's joined forces with the Reem Empire to create a confederation. I'm like, you. I was bugging out when I saw that shit. And then one of the guys from the finalist, army is saying he's correct on this. That he's speaking the truth. Lady Sherazade made the decision just before her going into her last battle. And he's like saying that he wants to bring back Magistet to its former glory and so on and so forth. And another one for the Kou Empire is like saying he wanted to seize it for himself, blah blah blah, you bastard Sinbad. And that's when things get really crazy. Kouen says, okay, I'm gonna take Aladdin. Like, what are you doing? Oh my god, and he's like, you promised me. So he's taking Aladdin away. He's like, okay, I'm picking the Maggie with me. He's like, carrying him. I'm like, Jesus. This was like, oh, I'm gonna take Magistet? Well, guess what? I'm taking your Maggie away from you. That had me dying. That whole scene was so crazy. But ultimately, and he's like, what? And he says, you promised me, and so on and so forth. And Sinbad's like saying, I didn't expect that he would be so difficult to deal with, so on and so forth. And then the whole struggle, he says, get him, hands off him, so on and so forth. And he says, he doesn't belong to you. And you see everyone, and then you see a scene apparently that also has happened, that something has occurred, because it's this light, and we see everyone showing up from Magistet, and we see the Empress bitch. She's saying, Sherazade is dead, the foundations of Reem are shaking. Furthermore, even though this time it was not useful, once it's open. And apparently, what has also occurred in this chapter, and this is the last thing that happens before we get into the bullshit at the end of this chapter. Lady Sherazade created dolls. Well, not dolls. Clones of herself. Many clones of herself. And one such clone is still there and hasn't been disturbed yet. And apparently, what is to be done, supposedly, is that, and Yunnan is there. Now that's the guy's name. Yunnan, the Magi name. One of her bodies is still left, and it could revive Sherazade at any moment. And that's what we find out. And we go to Ugo. Yeah. Ugo with his head. And he's talking to what seems to be Sherazade's soul. And there's somebody else with them. That somebody else is Titus. So what ends up happening is he's asking her, oh, are you sure you want that boy over there? And he's like, all right, time to go, new Maggie. The world is awaiting you. And apparently, there's a huge star hitting the temple, and so on and so forth. And then we see Captain Moon, and someone's saying to him, from our motherland. And they find out of nowhere comes this person, and we see this person there in the shadows, and Valen says, you are. And Margot gets up and she says, welcome home. And you see Titus. Titus is now the new Maggie. like how much more shit can we pile on this chapter? Already we got the thing with Kouen and Sinbad. But now we got this thing with Titus. So now Titus has been resurrected instead of Lady Sherazade. And he's going to be the new Maggie. Which is... Now, there's that as well that happened. Also, and then after that, it's pretty much after that, we see he's there and he says, that's right, I'm Titus, Alexis. Why am I still alive? He's asking them, and they're all smiling and happy, and it's joyous. And it says Magistet Arc End. And then some people are asking, where would the blue rook, where'd it go? It disappeared to. And then we see... Judel. Okay. I might be, for the next couple minutes in this review, I might get a little pissed off. Fair warning. Fair warning. So we see Jewel. He's like, all right, the only one who could use his powers of Magi was fallen into depravity. And he sees them, and he says, let's go, Hakuryu. We finished our business here. And then we see Hakuryu, this motherfucker, this piece of dog shit. Listen, people. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's got to explain to do. I'm sorry. He has to explain this. He basically looks at them. He says, Aladdin, Morgiana, Alibaba, I have turned my back to the path you have chosen after all. I'm sorry. Farewell. Okay, Hakuryu, I just got off the phone with a certain individual. His name's Sasuke Uchiha. He wants his shit back. Yeah, I went there. I don't give a shit. I don't care. This is fucking stupid. Okay? Okay? Because the thing is this. You're with you're with Joodle. Okay? Joodle is a son of a bitch. Joodle is working with the organization. Joodle is on the bad side. And you are too now, Hakuryu. You're on the bad side. You didn't just betray those three. You betrayed your whole goddamn family. The Empire. The Kou Empire. You just betrayed the Kou Empire. Well, I don't know how you looked at it. If Joodle's still with the Kou, it's very confusing. Anyway. Point being, this was a great chapter. But Hakuryu, he's dead. He's dead to me. He's dead to me. There better be a huge fucking explanation from this motherfucker. Huge explanation of why he decided to do this. If he says to get revenge, no, that's not an excuse. I'm sorry. I'm not taking that. No. Revenge on the Empress? No. No. It's called you are weak. Hakuryu's weak. I'm sorry, people. This is the way I feel. He's weak-minded. He's weak. He's pathetic. He's a loser. And he gave in. That's what he did. He caved in. Hakuryu caved in. He caved in. He couldn't deal with it. He couldn't man up. He couldn't do what needed to be done. So what does he do? He goes over to Joodle. Joodle, help me. Ugh. And this is what occurs. Now listen. I'm going to and say, let's wait for an explanation. We're going into a new arc, and we will see, hopefully, later on, if he explains his action. If they made up with him, Aladdin and Alibaba, he's going to have to say something to them. Because if they see him with Joodle, like, what are you with Joodle? Huh? Yeah, it's simple as that. You got to explain yourself. Don't get me wrong, this was a great chapter. New Magi and Titus. We got Kouen and Sinbad. But Hakuryu? Sasuke just called me. He wants his shit back. He wants his shit back. I'm sorry, people, but this is the way I feel. But I am getting the benefit of the doubt. Don't come and kill me with your angry messages. I am going to say this. I will wait for an explanation. If he gives an explanation but if he's saying the reason, we find out later on, the reason why he's doing this, reason why he's Joodle, is because, I wanted to kill my mother. I'm going to say this. Copycat, copycat, copycat. Copycat. It's been done. Sorry. It's been done. That's not an excuse. I'm sorry. That's not an excuse. I don't see it as an excuse. Revenge. No, I don't see it that way. Because you know why? If that's the case, then why didn't you, I don't know, train with you? But hey, I think most people who've been reading Magi from the beginning, they could come out and tell me right in my face, I saw this coming. And I should agree with them as well. Because the moment we had the part with Hakuryu when he was with Alibaba, Aladdin, and Morgiana, and he killed that woman in front of her children, I think that was the beginning of his downfall. Hakuryu. I think that was the beginning. I think that's when it was a precursor. And then him returning to the Kou Empire, confronted by this Empress bitch, who was his supposed mother. That was just the last straw, and he just decided to cave in. Okay. You just went into Sasuke territory, Hakuryu. Just saying, man. Just saying. Sasuke's gonna come after you. He's gonna say, "Hey, excuse me, why are you stealing my swagger, man? Why?" I hate to put this on you guys, but I think it's bullshit. And go talk to Nostradamus. He agrees with me. He was like this. I mean, but that's not to say this wasn't a bad chapter. This was a great chapter, 5 out of 5. But as far as I'm concerned, Hakuryu, you're dead to me. You are dead to me. You are DEAD, dead. You are joining up with an evil son of a bitch in Judel. You obviously want to do things on your own. Go ahead. Oh, by the way, you still aren't power enough to fight the Empress. Just to let you know. I don't think he's power enough. But we have to wait and see. Like I said, Five Right Ninjas is stating it out there. My feelings on this situation at the end of the chapter. But I'm going to say it right now, people. I'm going to wait for an explanation before I completely blow it off top and send him to the wolves. I will wait for an explanation before I can completely commit to saying, this guy's a son of a bitch, get the fuck out of my face. So we have to wait and see. But good chapter. Fucking Sinbad and Cohen. Oh, that was awesome. I love that standoff. That was awesome. Awesome. But yeah, and new Magi. So this arc's over. We'll move on to the next arc. But Hakuryu, jump the fuck off, man. Just jump the fuck off. You're not needed here anymore. Hit the road, Jack. Yeah, don't come back. Get out of here. That's just my feelings. I'm Bonkai 922. I'll see you guys later. Hakuryu, man. Magi, Titus.